Hello and welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep IAS. Let's get started and look into our daily quiz. Let's look into the first question. Consider the following statements with respect to Chakmas. Chakmas are predominantly Buddhists. They are found in Northeast India, Bangladesh and Nepal. Chakma language is part of the Indo-Aryan language family. Which of the above statements are correct? The answer to this is 1 and 3 only. Why have we taken this practice question? Because this article on the Hindu makes a reference to the Chakmas. Let us try and understand what are these options. When we look into the first option, yes, Chakmas are predominantly Buddhist. So the first statement is right. When we look into the second statement, yes, they are found in Northeast India. They are also found in Bangladesh. They are not found in Nepal, but instead they are found in Myanmar, which is why the second option that we have is wrong. When we look into the third option, Chakma language is part of the Indo-Aryan language family. Yes, this is the right statement. So who are the Chakmas? The Chakmas are an ethnic group who are predominantly Buddhist. They are found in the northeastern part of India, Bangladesh and Myanmar. In the northeastern part of India, they are present in the state of Mizoram. But in the state of Mizoram, they had conflict with the Mizo tribe, which is why they moved away from the Mizo tribe and some of them were relocated to the region of Tripura. Added to these parts is Arunachal Pradesh. When you look at the Chakmas, they are also present in Bangladesh. During the 1964s and 65s, what we had was the East Pakistan. There was a large scale development in this particular part where the Chakmas were living. They were predominantly living in the Chittagong hill tracts, and in this particular area, back then you had the East Pakistan administration which came up with a developmental program, and as a result, their lands were taken away and some of them came to India. So those people who came to India because of the developmental activities in the East Pakistan, and also because of the religious persecution, and also because they could not speak Bengali, all those people were given refugee status where in the state of Arunachal Pradesh. But in the state of Arunachal Pradesh as well, they did have issues. Why? Because you also had the local people, regional political parties who were not okay settling these refugees in their land. Why? Because they felt that if these people come to their state, they can take away their resources, they take away their jobs, and that is why there is conflict in Arunachal Pradesh as well. So these are some of the important facts when it comes to the Chakmas. Now let's look into the next practice question. Which of the following statements are correct? The National Tiger Count takes place every 4 years to estimate the total number of tigers in India. Karnataka had the highest number of tigers in the 2018 tiger census. Which of the statements are correct? The answer to this is 1 only. Now let's look into the next practice question. Consider the following pairs. We have the tiger reserve on one side, the state it is in on the other side. Mudumalai, Tamil Nadu, Pench, Madhya Pradesh, Panna, Arunachal Pradesh. Which of the above pairs are correctly matched? The answer to this is 1 and 2 only. Why have we taken both these practice questions? Because of the reference to the tiger census as well as to the tiger reserve. When we speak about the tiger census, yes, the tiger census in India happens every 4 years. So the national tiger count happens every 4 years, and according to the All India Tiger Estimation results, it is not Karnataka but instead it was Madhya Pradesh which had the highest number of tigers back in the year 2018. After Madhya Pradesh, what we have is Karnataka, and followed by Karnataka we have Uttarakhand. So the three states which were leading back in 2018 happens to be Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka and then Uttarakhand. Since this is an exercise which happens every 4 years, now we have this survey being conducted in the year 2022. And when it comes to tiger, tiger happens to be called as an umbrella species. This is because the minute you plan to conserve the tigers, there are other species which are also conserved as well. Since tigers require large swathes of land, they require a large area requirement. So when you conserve the tiger, you also conserve other species as well. Such is what is called as umbrella effect. So remember, tigers are considered as an umbrella species because once you conserve them, it also helps in conservation of other species as well. Now, if you look into the next question, yes, Mudumalai Tiger Reserve is in the state of Tamil Nadu. This is correct. Pench Tiger Reserve, yes, it is in the state of Madhya Pradesh, but Panna is not in the state of Arunachal Pradesh. But Panna also happens to be present in the state of Madhya Pradesh. But what is in Arunachal Pradesh? Remember, there is another tiger reserve called as Pakke Tiger Reserve. The Pakke Tiger Reserve is in the state of Arunachal Pradesh and not Panna. Panna is in the state of Madhya Pradesh. As part of the assignment, you have to put on the comment section how many tiger reserves are there in India. Is it 51, 52, 53, 50? What is it? How many tiger reserves are present in India? Please put it on the comment section. Which state or the states has maximum tiger reserves in India? So this article here is speaking about Mudumalai Tiger Reserve. Which are the tiger reserves which are present in the state of Tamil Nadu? Please put the answers on the comment section. Now let's look into the next practice question. Basal stem rot Thanjavur wilt is a disease which affects cotton, coconut, tobacco, wheat. The answer to this is coconut. Why have we taken this practice question? Because this article on the Hindu makes a reference to the basal stem rot disease, which is also called by different names. We have different names called as Ganoderma wilt in Andhra Pradesh. It is also called as Anabiroga in Karnataka, and it is also called as Thanjavur wilt in the state of Tamil Nadu. If you look into the background to this particular disease, it started or was first reported back in the year 1952 in Thanjavur in Tamil Nadu, and after it was reported in Thanjavur in Tamil Nadu back in the year 1952, it started spreading to other districts as well as states as well. So this started spreading to the state of Karnataka, to the state of Kerala, and also to the state of Andhra Pradesh as well. Some pockets of Gujarat have also seen this particular disease, which is nothing but a fungal disease that happens to the coconut trees. What are some of the symptoms? The infection begins at the root, but symptoms include discoloration and rotting of stem and leaves. In the later stages, flowering and net set decreases, and finally the coconut palm also dies as well. So what exactly happens? There is wilting, there is yellowing, there is drying up and drooping of the outer leaves when it comes to these coconut trees, and eventually they also die out as well. So these are some of the symptoms when it comes to the basal stem rot or the Thanjavur wilt, and this impacts the coconut tree. Now let's look into the next practice question. With reference to the history of ancient India, Bhavabhutti, Hastimala, Kshemeshwara were famous Jain monks, playwrights, temple architects, philosophers. The answer to this is playwrights. This happens to be a previous year question from the year 2021. When it comes to Bhavabhutti, he is a Sanskrit playwright. He has written some of the plays like Mahavira Charita, Malati Madhava, and he is believed to be the court poet of Yashovarma of Kano. So remember, Bhavabhutti, Hastimala, and Kshameshwara are all playwrights. Now let's look into the fact of the day. The fact of the day for today's discussion is World Economic Forum. What is this World Economic Forum? The World Economic Forum was initially formed as the European Management Forum. It was founded by Klaus Schwab in the year 1971. The organization's name eventually changed to World Economic Forum in the year 1987. This became a plan so that they could discuss a larger sector of conflicts issues world over. Initially, it was formed as an European Management Forum. What did it do? When you compare the Western European countries with the United States of America, you had the capitalistic form of government. But the Western European countries were also not able to compete with the United States of America. So what do they feel? They feel that they have to compete with United States of America, and they also have to bring some of the managerial skills which are practiced in United States of America to the practices in Europe, which is why all these countries, that is the European countries, predominantly the Western European countries, come together and they form what is called as the European Management Forum. One is to bring the United States of America's management practices to the European industries, and at the same time they also wanted to ensure that they compete with the industries of the United States of America. This was the initial idea, and after 1987 they also started taking up majority of the conflicts world over, issues world over, inequalities that was existing in the system, and they also started discussing these issues and they started resolving the international conflict. So initially it was a management practice, management idea, and over a period of time they started taking issues world over, which was a major point of concern. What do the people think about it? Initially, as we discussed, it was something about the management practices, but over a period of time multiple people were added into this World Economic Forum, which means it was not only the business people but multiple other politicians started attending the World Economic Forum. You also had the business people, you also had members of the civil society, you also had the CEOs of large corporations. So not only the business people but multiple other people started coming to this particular forum. Why? Because this was all about solving the international issues. So this also included the diplomats. You also had journalists as well, as these journalists started reporting what was happening on this very forum of the World Economic Forum. So basically, initially what started as a business practice eventually went on to become inclusive of many other sections of the society, where politicians, business people, other civil society organizations also came on this forum called as the World Economic Forum. There are two ways of looking at the World Economic Forum. One, who are the supporters of the World Economic Forum. Then there are others who are critics of the World Economic Forum. Who are the sympathizers? What do they say about the World Economic Forum? According to the sympathizers or people who support the World Economic Forum, they go on to say that this World Economic Forum is not exclusive. Initially, it may have been exclusive, but over a period of time, it has become inclusive, where all sections of the people come into this particular forum. They also discuss multiple ideas about the fourth industrial revolution. There are some global problems. These problems are also discussed, and ultimately global security related issues are also addressed, say the sympathizers of the World Economic Forum. In fact, they go on to say that back in the year 1992, South Africa was facing a lot of economic crisis, and it was the World Economic Forum which requested South Africa to open up its market, become a market as part of the globalization, and as a result what South Africa was able to see is genuine development and growth. So basically, this sympathizers or the supporters of the World Economic Forum say that it does not have the elitist image, but instead it is inclusive, say the supporters and the sympathizers of the World Economic Forum. Then there are critiques of this particular forum as well. Why? Because they go on to say that when it comes to the World Economic Forum, there is something called as the entry fee. The entry fee may not be present if the organizers of the World Economic Forum request or give application, ask people to come to this particular forum. But for the rest of the people who are planning to come on their own, they have to pay exorbitant entry fee. Yes, this exorbitant entry fee is also being paid by the business people as well. So the minute you have the industrial lobby, business people entering this World Economic Forum, they do pay entry fees, and these business people speak to the politicians of multiple countries. They have their own lobbying groups, and ultimately they finalize deals on this very forum. So what do the critics say? The critics say that this is a nexus that is existing between the politicians as well as the elite people as well as the business unit. So it is not inclusive in nature, it is exclusive, where this is acting as a platform where the rich people meet the rich politicians, they set up a deal, and ultimately the larger section of people are completely eliminated. Some of the key issues are discussed by these business people as well as the politicians, and ultimately very few people decide the fortunes of billions of people, and they go on to criticize this World Economic Forum. So basically, this World Economic Forum has also discussed about the climate change, it has spoken about the inequality, it has spoken about the security related issues, and it is impacting multiple areas of operation. The World Economic Forum also becomes very important when it comes comes to the preliminary examination as well. How there are some important reports that are released and indexes that are released by the World Economic Forum. Let's say for example, we have the Global Competitiveness Index, or we can take the example of Global Gender Gap Report. These are some of the examples where the World Economic Forum gives an idea about the competition world over, about the gender gap that is persisting in the world, but there are other set of reports as well which are very important. Please put them on the comment section. So we have the Global Competitiveness Index released by the World Economic Forum. We also have the Global Gender Gap Report which is released by the World Economic Forum. So if there are other reports released by the World Economic Forum, please put them on the comment section so that we have a consolidated list of the reports and indices released by the World Economic Forum. It is this that we have to understand in reference to this article. So this is it for today. Thank you for watching. All the best.